Welcome again to Cottage Talk Full Time. I'm Russ Goldman. This is my initial reaction show to Fulham's stunning 2-1 victory against Brentford at Craven Cottage. 2 goals from Harry Wilson in stoppage time. Get it done. Fulham come from behind to win this massive West London derby against Brentford. And I feel great that they did this against Brentford. I listened to a broadcast that Martin Tyler was doing the broadcast, and him and Townsend were just talking up Brentford throughout the match. But in the end, they admitted that Fulham were the much better side. Sorry to put words in their mouth, but they basically said that at the end. I'm paraphrasing, but Fulham were the much better side. They give up the goal in the first half against the run of play, but to their credit, they decided to finally start pressing Fulham. It did create a little bit of havoc, and you get a very great goal from Brentford. And then Fulham were playing catch-up. It was the first time this season Fulham had played from behind at the half, and they've scored the first goal before that in the last 6 matches. So you're thinking, uh-oh, here you go. But one great thing to take out of this is to see the resilience of Fulham Football Club, to see how far they've come in 3 seasons, to be able to pull this off. 2 goals in stoppage time. That's not by accident. Yes, they were knocking on the door. After the goal went in, it was all about trying to get the first goal, and they struggled. They struggled to break down Brentford. Credit to them. Yes, I'll give them a little bit of credit. But overall, Fulham deserved, and I mean deserved, not just the point, but the victory. So congratulations to Fulham Football Club. Congratulations to everyone that was at Craven Cottage. And yes, I got a little bit of a chuckle now at the end because Fabio Carvalho had a chance to give Brentford the lead and didn't come off. Fulham hold on, and then they go down the other side of the pitch, and great cross, I believe it was from Anthony Robinson, sets up the winning goal from Harry Wilson, who scored, like I said, 2 goals in stoppage time. A player that hasn't played a lot recently for Fulham. Come on. He comes on at the end of the match, and he gets it done. What a wonderful victory for Fulham Football Club. If you're watching live, please feel free to share comments. I have this comment from Ollie Reynolds. He says, I am so happy. You whites, if you're watching live, feel free to share a comment. And feel free to share who was your man of the match. I think most would say that it is Harry Wilson, but you can make an argument that maybe it was Anthony Robinson. So my initial reaction is this to this victory. This is very interesting because I'm watching the match and I'm thinking Fulham are dominating the play, and they get a sucker punch. And it's funny because during the broadcast I was watching with Martin Tyler, he was talking about this is what Brentford can do. All they need is an opportunity. They offered very little in the first half, but they created this one opportunity and scored a goal. So what's interesting here is that you could think Fulham's heads would go down. I wouldn't say they went down, but they struggled a little bit after that, and they talked about that on the broadcast. But they got to the half. I'm thinking they're going to score that goal before the half, and they did not get that done. We then transitioned to the second half, and I'm thinking they are creating all this pressure, creating these opportunities, but the end product wasn't the greatest. Let's call what it is the set pieces, especially the corners, were not great at all by Andres Pereira. Then you had Reece Nelson take it. You had Tom Kearney take them. They weren't the greatest. And you could say that Brentford was comfortable for a good amount of the time against our set pieces. But in the end, didn't matter because I'm going to say it right now. Harry Wilson stepped up. That is what a big-time player does. I've been hard on him. Tony Golden and I have talked a lot about Harry Wilson. Is he ready for this level? Is he good enough for this level? Or is maybe the championship his level? Well, he made an argument that he should be playing more for Fulham Football Club after those 2 goals. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to all the Fulham players because they gave it their all. They absolutely did. We can talk about not creating too many, I would say, incredible chances, but they did put the pressure on throughout the match. They did not give up. That to me is what I'm going to take out of this. It's the resilience. I wanted to see that from this team, playing for each other, trying whatever they could to get that goal. And Brentford were stout defensively. So, and what I find interesting, what I find fascinating, and I'll share this with you. The best moment I can say is when they brought on a third center back to do what Fulham have done, and it backfired on them. I love it. I love that bringing on Ben Mee backfired on him like it has for Fulham a few times, bringing on that third center back to really hunker down because it invites even more pressure on. And it didn't work. Fulham scored 2 goals in stoppage time to get the victory. Incredible victory for Fulham Football Club. I'm just going to be here for about 15 minutes, so I'm just going to try to share some comments from the Fulham supporters. If you, like I said, if you're watching live, feel free to share some comments, and I'll try to share them with the live audience here. Brian shares, win of the season, no matter what else happens. Let's see. Black, White, and Fred scoring from our 43rd and 44th corners is crazy. That is really good stat. I didn't even know that stat. Carl Dutton says, what a comeback. Special from Harry Wilson there. I totally agree. Let's see what else we got. Christine Coyle says, good result. Dean Monroe, keep them coming. Please keep them coming. Almost all the game, we were the biggest shark in the tank, but no teeth. Then the Welsh Wizard happened. I love that, Dean. Great stuff from you. Let's see what Martin Smith has to share. Deserve the 3 points. All Brentford do is put 11 players behind the ball. Should have won by more. Well, Fulham, honestly, they put on all the pressure, but they defended well, Martin, and I'll give them credit for that because Fulham certainly outplayed Brentford. They did do that. They did hunker down. They almost saw it out, but in the end, Harry Wilson gets it done. Sean Kennedy says, phew, thoroughly deserved and thoroughly enjoyable in the end. I don't know if I would call it enjoyable throughout the match, but it was enjoyable in the end. Okay, so thank you, everyone, for your comments. Please keep them coming. This is from my friend Chris Goodwin, who is a Liverpool supporter. He shares, a thoroughly deserved victory. It would have been a shame if you had lost that game. Chris, I completely agree with you. I'm watching this game, and I'm thinking this would be a shame. And what's interesting, and I'll share this with you, I was talking to Tony Gold at halftime. He was in the Hammersmith end. He was in the Hammy end, and he was just obviously disappointed, wanted to know about the goal that we gave up. But I said to him at halftime, I said, if Fulham score 1, I still feel we're going to win this match. And unbelievably, Fulham got it done. It is crazy sometimes how football works, but I'm glad people understand this. Fulham deserved to win this match. They absolutely did. Let's see. Record producer Rob says, Harry the Magician. Wilson wins it all. Yes, I agree with all of that. Just a wonderful Fulham victory. And thank you, everyone that's watching live. I'm sure everyone wants to share their thoughts. So if you are watching live, I'm going to be going for probably another 5 to 7 minutes. Let me know your thoughts on man of the match. Please feel free to share your thoughts on man of the match. I think the obvious choice is Harry Wilson, but I'm going to throw out another player, as I said at the beginning. How about Anthony Robinson? He played very well. There were so many positive performances. But when I look at the match and I look at the positivities, let's start with the decision with the starting 11, because I think this is an interesting call that Marco went with Reece Nelson and actually brought on Adama Traore in the second half. I've been going back and forth with Tony Gold on Cottage Talk. Should he do this? And he finally pulled the trigger and started Reece Nelson, and he had a couple of wonderful opportunities, but could not score in the first half. He was dangerous throughout the match. And I would say a great opportunity in the first half was also by Emile Smith-Rowe. They actually were linking up pretty good, but they could not get the ball in the back of the net, and that was a problem. And like you said, all it took was this one opportunity from Brentford to grab the lead. And then from that point on until the very end of the match, like we're talking about the opportunity that I mentioned after Fulham scored the first goal from Harry Wilson, you have that mad dash at the end with Fabio Carvalho. Would that have been terrible if he scored? And Tony told me that he got a round of booze when he was warming up in the first half, just warming up. So I have a feeling he got some booze when he came on, and I'm one that wanted to re-sign him to have him come back to Fulham, but he's at Brentford, so he has to live with that. We'll just say that. And then in the second half, obviously, you have Fulham trying to score that first goal and just creating all kinds of pressure in that first half. In that second half, and just not being able to get it done. The substitutions come on, and it doesn't make a lot of difference. I actually like the fact that they brought on Adama Traore, but they were so packed in. There were so many Brentford players behind the ball. It was difficult for even someone like Traore to make a difference, but he had some crosses in, but they were dealing with all of Fulham's crosses. There were so many crosses. It kind of reminded me a little bit of that Manchester United match at Old Trafford when Fulham were dealing with all those crosses and actually, I believe, got a point. It was similar to that. It was weird because we had all these crosses, but they dealt with the majority of them until the very end. And that's all that matters. It's getting it done when you really need to get it done. And like I said, congratulations to all the Fulham players. Congratulations to Harry Wilson, who's been on the bench trying to get a chance to play, and he scores 2 goals. Now he's going to make an argument to play even more for Fulham, and that's a good thing. That's a great problem to have for Marco Silva. We want players that are going to be helping the team whenever they get a chance. So, Harry Wilson, you deserve so much credit for what you did in a short period of time, scoring 2 goals. Congratulations to you, and more importantly, not just to you, but to the entire team, because you all deserved it. Okay, to end this show, quick show, because I will have a couple more shows about this match. I'm going to end with man of the match. If you're watching live, feel free to share who was your man of the match. Okay, so I'm going to just share some comments from the Fulham supporters. Man of the match, Wilson. That's from record producer Rob. Honorable mention, Jedi. Let's see what other things we're seeing from the Fulham supporters. Demon Rose says, strangely defensive tactics by Thomas Frank, relying on a flat low block without any real threat to a counterattack. I agree with that. This is from Sean Kennedy, giving it to Marco Silva, man of the match. I love that. Carl Dutton says, Harry Wilson, man of the match, but I agree Robinson played fantastic tonight. I thought that he played excellent tonight. Let's see what else we have. We've got some good comments. We've got from this Fulham supporter, Anthony. So we got a lot of comments. I'll share mine, and if you're still watching live for another couple minutes, I'm still going to be going. Feel free to share who was your man of the match. I've got 160 people watching live, so thank you, everyone. Obviously, want to enjoy this Fulham victory. You should be enjoying this full victory. It was massive for the club today. Okay, so I'm going to give man of the match. I have to give it to Harry Wilson. That's where I'm going to go. I understand why some might give it to Jedi or give it to someone else, but you have to give it to Harry Wilson. He scores the 2 goals in the end and gives Fulham all 3 points. It wasn't just him, but I'm going to give it to Harry Wilson. And what a great story from him, not playing that much, and he gets it done. Just gets it done. Let's see. So we got Demon Rowe. He's giving it to Robinson. And record producer Rob also says subs were brilliant tonight. Subs were good tonight. I want to give a shout out to Tom Kearney as well. And listen, he actually made some good decisions with the substitutes. It did work. I love the fact that he actually went with Traore for the final 30 minutes. That actually, I thought, worked well. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it did work in the end. Let's see. Let's see what Carl Scott has to share. Not being on the end of such a result, Wilson has been great for Wales as well. Let's see. So those are all of our comments, and I just want to mention just everyone, thank you for joining me after this huge Fulham victory. I really appreciate you joining me. I was thinking, should I be doing a show right after this? Decided to do it just because I'm feeling good and I wanted to share my thoughts with the Fulham supporters. But I do want to mention that I will have a post-match show on Tuesday, and I will also have a player rating show. I have much content coming your way. So look out for that. The player rating show is actually on the Cottage Talk Patreon page. If you're interested, please do check that out. I would highly recommend checking out the Patreon page because we're going to have a lot of great content for you. Please check that out. But I'm going to wrap up this show. Like I said, I just wanted to go about 15 minutes. My name is Russ Goldman. Thank you as always for watching and listening to Cottage Talk. Come on, you whites.